get it on.
There we go. Vinny singing, and we're live in the middle of the world.
There you go. There's something to wake up to on a Friday morning, right?
Usually he does his Frankie Valli on Fridays, but today he's singing "Let's Get It On."
I was just going with a little Marvin Gaye. I just wanted something a little different this morning. How are you, Michael Knight?
As he coughs up the rest of his lung.
As he throws a. I got it too, man. I got some kind of crud. I don't know what exactly it is. It is, but it don't feel good.
I'm sorry to hear that. There's plenty of it going around.
Yeah, I'm sick of getting. I want to live somewhere where I don't get what's going around.
Let me think about where that might be. Um, Vancouver, BC.
Nah, I think there's a lot more going around in Vancouver, BC. I mean, you got to eliminate. You have to go when you're driving out. Is it Route 10 out? I forget if it's out of California to Nevada, or
15.
back into Nevada
Yeah,
from California.
That would be Route 15.
Well, no, it could be 10. Could because 10 goes.
10 goes until it hits 15.
Yeah, and there's a road called ZYZZZ Road.
This is
This is a road. That looks like a place.
where you
In
can't
my
catch
several
anything.
times having passed it, that looks like a place where you could probably not get what's going around.
You might run into some survivalists out there who are anti-vaxxers and thus encounter by saying hello to one person, you can come up with everything, including diphtheria.
Well, isn't there a former? I don't know if it's right there or somewhere there, like a former like religious compound or something like that.
Well, we have former religious compounds every 30 feet in Southern
Yeah,
California because these cults and followers and pure Puritan sufferers crop up every half hour, really. Sometimes they come so fast they don't have a leader, which is really awful because what's a cult without a leader? Then you have to wait for someone to reveal themselves as the leader. By the time you do that, everybody's got diphtheria.
I for a short time dabbled in a cult kind of thing.
What do they want you to do?
That was well, they didn't want me to do anything. It was more of a
It's a nothing cult.
well, it was more about sex really than anything else. It's like
That's really the front for all of them.
that's yeah. It was much more about sex. And the guru,
Oh, you
the
had a
guy,
guru?
the
Oh,
leader,
yeah.
looked like Buddy Hackett.
Not Buddy
So
Holly. You sure?
not Buddy Holly, Buddy Hackett. And I said, what could be wrong
With this picture here.
with this setup?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, if the guru, if the head of this thing,
Can't get laid.
it looks like Buddy Hackett, and he's got all these women around him, and I mean, this dude had and they had houses set up all over San Francisco, all over the world, actually. Had a couple in
What,
San
what,
Francisco, a
what,
big
what
one
did they
in
call this? Did they call it Facebook or what was the name of it?
no, they called it More University,
More?
More, and they used to have weekly meetings, and it was um it was a trip. Although I got to admit, I learned some stuff out of it, but
You learn more.
yeah, I don't know that they're still in existence today. I do know that they had a huge, and I mean a bloody huge tract of land out and back of Lafayette.
Hmm.
And I mean,
And
it was like,
did they raise armadillos or anything out there, or something useful?
no, but like everybody kind of lived on this big plot of land.
Hmm.
A ton of people, not everybody. And you could always tell their houses because they were painted purple.
What did they want you to do? How much did it cost? What is there an entrance fee? There's got to be some sort of pay to play.
No, no, actually, well, they had courses that they would teach, and you could sign up for the courses and pay. Then you could have, and it was, it was about sensuality. It was about learning about yourself, how to communicate with your partner and something and stuff like that.
Did
But
you get
then there was
breakfast in bed?
also you could
Breakfast in
you
bed
could
maybe on Sundays. Get the
uh
carnival and the.
well, there was always breakfast. And if you stayed in the houses, you could then you had to pay rent in the houses. They had one of the purple houses was on Fell Street. Fell.
In the Victorians section
Yeah, it
there.
was a big Victorian. They had like, I don't know, 8 people living there, and everybody was doing everybody, and it was it was
It
it
takes
was a
all
very
day.
interesting introduction to San
Takes
Francisco.
all day to pay to play.
But not many people had jobs. Many people existed off of the courses they could teach or the people that they could bring in to get taught the courses. But it actually was a really, I think they were a bunch of ex Est people.
Estist.
Yeah, they were a bunch of Werner's old buddies. Werner Erhardt, the founder of Est. And it was, I spent a couple of years actually, like, going in and going out of it
On the periphery.
on the periphery. I mean, I didn't. I went to some very interesting parties, met some very interesting people, and actually had a lot of fun. They traveled by old limousines,
Old ones. How old?
like 50s and 60s. So they had like a fleet of 50s and 60s limousines.
That would have been your edge right there, working on the cars.
Yeah, and I knew about the cars, so it was interesting. It was wild. Anyway, so I don't even know how we got into talking about cults, but
Oh, because they spring up every 30 feet as you're going out
oh yeah,
Highway
there
10
you
to
go.
meet Highway 15. And Zizek's Road has got to have two cults on it.
Yeah, yeah, Zizek's Road. I don't think you could catch anything there, but um, I don't know.
My question about Zizek's is it a frontage road or a road?
No, it's a crossroad.
Just a
It
regular.
crosses, and again, I think it's I-15, but I think it
Well,
crosses.
they might be in the market for a frontage road there. That would the Zizek's frontage road could be a tourist
I don't
stop.
know that they have.
How's the construction going in Spolpakia on the frontage road? They're on 66A. I know they were having some work slowages, not stoppages necessarily, just things were getting slow.
Where?
Like the 66A in Spolpakia where they're working on the
Yeah,
frontage
things are
road.
tough in Spolpakia right now. Yes, it's there is no frontage road at Zizek Road. You find the edge of the beautiful Soda Lake. Um, Railroads went through there, evidence of salt mining. And there is this is what I was looking for. In the 1800s, there was a place called Camp Soda Springs. And a guy named Curtis House Springer started the Zizek's Mineral Springs and Health Spa, bottling the springs water for thirsty travelers and bringing in a zoo to attract visitors. The spa ran for 30 years in the middle of the 1900s.
Yeah, that's a good long run for a place that sells hot water on a hot road in the desert.
Yeah. It is now a desert studies center used by the California State University. It is the most diverse desert, the Mojave, in the world. So it provides the opportunity to study many aspects of biology, archaeology, ecology, and Native Americans. So,
Maybe we should start installing Zizix roads in all deserts: the Sahara Desert, the Gobi Desert, the Desert Inn.
I'm pretty sure that I've slept at that exit.
You pulled off and had a nappy poo.
Yeah, I'm sure that in my trips from back and forth from going to LA and San Diego to, although San Diego, I think you dropped down to 8 before that.
Yes, 5 to 8.
Yeah. Uh, well, yeah. Well, coming across this way, I
You're
think it's
coming from the
Gila Bend
east.
where 8 splits off to San Diego. Anyway, so we got a decision this morning, Michael, from the United States. Well, it's not a decision; it is a settlement.
The San Miguelito doesn't have to pay anything for raising the flags. The fine that they had planned has been rescinded.
He's not going to pay anything for anything anyway. So what's the difference? He's not going to. You think anything's going to happen to him for this?
Not unless the Chief Justice puts his foot down, which seems
Yeah,
unlikely
that's
at
going
this
to
point.
happen.
Doesn't
Yeah,
seem
that's
likely.
going to happen. That'll happen. Yeah, you got a better chance of opening the door of your house and seeing a box filled with $1,000 bills.
$1,000 bills.
Yeah, just sitting right out front.
Rutherford B. Hayes is on the $1,000 bill.
I don't know. Is he?
Jimmy Kimmel, who's on the 1,000?
Jimmy Kimmel, I think. So anyway, the late last night, the NCAA and the group of athletes that have sued the NCAA for just compensation for their work and antitrust stuff that's going on won the
Okay.
case. Grant House is the actual person who brought the case. Arizona State swimmer.
Ah,
And by settling the case, the NCAA sought to avoid a catastrophic judgment and ward off, because a lot of people were saying that this was going to go against them. The major conferences,
they didn't have a cleat to stand on.
not not a speedo to sit in. Um, had the suit gone to trial, the NCAA and the major conferences that were named as co-defendants, the Big Ten, the Southeast and Atlantic Coast, Big 12, and what used to be the Pac-12, would have feared a potential price tag exceeding $4 billion.
That's enough to clean the house right there.
You can hire a lot of people to clean your house for $4 billion.
That would have put them OOB, out of business.
Nah.
Well, what about the Pac-2? Is anybody playing in the Pac-2 these
Well,
days?
I think they're moved on to different conferences now. They're going to be playing.
So
I
there's not
forget
even a
even what
Pac-2. Mountain West, Mountain.
something. Yeah, something along those lines. So, in essence, what you have here is, if this settlement goes through, one of the good things that's going to happen is it's not just going to be starting today
It's
forward,
retroactive.
but they're going to go back 10 years
Ah,
and they're going to pay athletes of the past 10 years that went to these schools. Now, I don't know how much, I don't know how they're going to split this up, And just in case you're thinking that this is going to be the ruination of college sports,
No, they'll just raise ticket prices to pay the people in the past.
it's been ruined already. This is, for all intents and purposes, a pro league. If you want college sports, you go to places like Slippery Rock University. You go to places like Linfield College. You go to places like the where they don't get paid, where they do it because it's love.
What about colleges? I had a good question there. I lost it. Never mind. What about nothing? What about more university? Are they going to get paid?
I don't think Moore University had a sports team, but maybe they'll get some money. I go back and be their athletic director. But it's fundamentally, I mean, the landscape of college sports has been changed so much over the past few years. And this just completely, I mean, this just actually turns it into a pro league. So my question is,
What about the Olympics? What about the amateur status that used to be so important?
it isn't anymore. There's no amateur status anymore. You don't have to be an amateur. You could, I mean, you have professional baseball and basketball players playing in the Olympics.
They're going to
There's
play
the,
baseball in Paris this summer. Baseball a game? I don't
I
think
don't
so.
think, I don't know that baseball is an Olympic sport this year. I think now it's more focused on those world games that they have every year.
Mm-hmm.
They kind of start up around spring training and go for like it's like a huge tournament, the world games, something like that. I don't know that they have them anymore. It's so different sports from what we grew up with, isn't it? I mean, it's just really um and I don't know. I just don't know if I like it or not. I don't like the prices. I don't like the money you have to pay to go to a sporting event. I
What's
think
it,
that
what's it,
that's
what's it, what's it cost to go to a Husky game these days?
well, I don't know what a ticket is, but you have to buy you have to make a donation to the Tai Club to even get the right to buy your tickets.
So that enters you into a slush fund of people who are paying and they're hopeful that they get to go to a game too.
Yeah, so I'm thinking that you're probably in for a couple of $100 a ticket.
And Tai translates into what, do you think? What does that mean in English?
Tai
Tai.
beats the piss out of me.
That sounds just about right.
I
That's the
think it's a tribe
translation.
of Indians, isn't it?
Chief Seattle was a Tai.
No, because they didn't. I mean, it doesn't seem to. Oh, okay. It's a chief, a boss, or a leader. A or a Tai salmon, a Chinook salmon, especially when of large size.
So it's a leader who's really a fish head, and
It's the big dog.
the big dog who's also a fish, who doubles as a fish.
So, and there's several. I mean, it's big news around here because I guess this is where now you can go up to Coopville and stay at the Tai Motel. Go to the Tyee Apartments, Tyee Wine Cellar. There's even a bicycle named the Tyee.
A bicycle.
So, but I know there was an awful lot of people that were pissed off many years ago. Well, there's a whole lot of people that are pissed off all the time.
Even if we're only talking about Husky fans, there's a level of
Forget
pissed off
it. Everybody's pissed off.
they can't be measured.
But I remember when they started that I forget. I think it was $1,500 a year deal that they wanted to get out of the out of each Tyee Club member so that they could buy the tickets. I know that there was a lot of consternation about that.
Hue and cry.
There was some Humpty Dumpty about it. There was stuff going around. People were upset that they had to pay that kind of money.
I think they
But see, that kind of team.
Perfect idea for skimming.
So it. I think it's the end of college sports. Well, no. I think it's the end of non-professional college sports. I think that the time has come where they got to fess up and say, listen, this is what we are.
And if we don't win, your team leaves and goes to LSU.
Yeah. And well, the players do that. Now the coaches do that. Even if they win, the coaches go. Look at what's his name did from Washington.
And for Michigan, too.
Yeah, I mean, it's ridiculous. Guy takes the team to the championship game. Oh, I'm here forever. I love this place. Now, I don't expect anybody to say they're here forever. But I got my kid in school here. I'm a Husky. This is where I've always wanted to be. This is the first. I love this place. I love the fact that it's 61 degrees on June 1st.
Would you like to come to Alabama? Yes, I would. Yes, I would. I'm glad you mentioned that. That's my dream.
Well, come on down to this crap hole that we have here and look at what we got for you, because we'll make you an offer you can't refuse. And where is he 15 minutes after they lose the game?
He's gone.
On the jet.
Well, they had cash. They had cash to spend, and they had a deal to make. The Huskies didn't. The Huskies did not have a counteroffer, by the way.
My words for my friend Kalen DeBoer will be just two words to keep in mind.
See ya.
Mike Price.
Yeah. Stay out of the clubs, brother.
It's a club that they want you until they don't want you anymore.
It's like the Tyee Club.
And if you're not one of their people, you better be bringing something to the table. There's no
substitute for winning. There's no replacement for not
4
winning.
seasons down there. There's no losing to Auburn.
Well, if you're a San Francisco Giants fan, you have to learn to celebrate when you're still waiting to be a 500 team. You're not there. You're poised at the edge of 500 on the wrong side.
Well, yeah. Well, they came back and won yesterday, right?
7-6. Yep, they beat the Pirates.
Yeah, so what are you complaining about?
Well, because it's still early, I'm not complaining.
You're mad because Joey Bart hit a grand slam.
I'm mad because we can't play 500 ball. And we are what you would call a professional league. The Giants are in the National League, and it wasn't just yesterday that they became professionals. They've been professionals all along. We just can't get a team to play like they're professionals.
Mikey.
We play like we're from Iowa State, and this is the best team we could pay.
I got 3 words for you. Friday, May 24th.
By this time, every team that has a personality, we've seen them play enough to know what's going on. Shohei Otani's bought a $8 million mansion in La Cañada, Flint Ridge. The Dodgers are settling in, the Yankees are settling in, the Braves are settling in. The teams that know how to win are winning. The teams that can't quite get a grip on hit the ball, catch the ball, throw the ball, can't play 500, and that's my team.
Well, but I don't know, Michael. I
And
mean,
I don't know who Samuel Alito's team is, but can he put in a good word for the Giants? He seems to have a lot of influence.
well, it was a
Well,
tough game for the Giants.
maybe the Giants can recuse themselves from further games against over 500 teams. We'll play anybody who can't play 500 ball. But why should we risk our reputation and good standing in the National League by playing teams that are better than us?
Well, could have been worse. You could have got whacked around by the Yankees yesterday in a beautiful afternoon in the Bronx with Donald Trump spewing his venom just blocks away at Crotona Park.
He's stopped
Uh,
by the Bronx looking for the Bronx vote. Good luck
Looking for
there.
the Bronx vote. And the Yankees decided to unload some home runs on the Seattle Mariners, and that led them to a 5-0 victory. So the Seattle boys got on a train last night
A train. I like it.
and took a train down to Washington, D.C., where they will face the Senators, the Nats. I still always have trouble doing with the Senators and the Nats and everything.
Well, the
Because I'm old
National
enough to remember the Senators.
is a horrible name. What
What?
are you? I'm a national. What is that? Is it male? Is it female?
Yeah, they
Is
should
it
have
a
called them. They should have called them the Senators or the Congress. But then again, who the hell likes the? I mean, the reality is these days they probably did themselves a favor. Who the hell likes senators and congressmen these
Well, they
days?
could have called themselves the Potomacs
Yeah, I think they wanted something. I guess they could have gone with the Capitals, right?
or the DCs.
And kind of a little strange there. Uh, yeah. So it's so where does San Francisco head to?
I don't know.
Oh, Mikey.
Miami.
Ba 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 da da ba ba da da. Da 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 da. Let's welcome to New York, your
The New York Mets.
San Francisco Giants. Uh, yep, they have a 3-game series out at beautiful City Field, or as we like to call it, Debits Field.
I wonder if they took a train from Pittsburgh to New York to Queens.
It's a pretty nice ride, actually. I've taken that ride. Problem is with that ride, and I mean, it's not that bad. That's right, because you're not going out to the ballpark. So, um, when you take the train into San Francisco, I mean, when you take the train into New York, you go into Penn Station, and so you then have to transfer all of your equipment from the bowels of Penn Station out to the ballpark.
There's usually a lot of helpful guys grabbing your bags and helping you along with that effort.
Oh yes, especially when you're a well-dressed person, they will come right along and help you out.
Your bag is gone. Come along with me. Here we go.
But actually, I think it's nice. I think it's really cool that they took that they did that. I think that was a nice move by the Mariners to take the train down to Washington from from
Penn Station.
New York. And plus, I think if I'm not mistaken, you can actually go from Yankee Stadium. There's a train platform
Sure.
by Yankee Stadium. So you actually don't have to drive down to Penn Station. You can actually get on the train. I don't know if they did this or not, but you can actually, if you're chartering a train, which I suppose they did, they chartered or at least a car.
Mm-hmm.
You can probably go from Yankee Stadium, walk across the street to the train station,
Take it to Penn Station and off you go.
and take it. I don't even know if you have to go to Penn Station. You might be able to go over the bridge and then into the tunnel to New Jersey and then go that way. I think there's a tunnel. I forget exactly where it is, but I think there's an underground tunnel up there somewhere. So you don't even have to go. You can literally go not avoid Manhattan completely.
Could be Union City. Could be Hohokus. Could be Hackensack.
And so
Could be
chances are
Hoboken.
by the time you get, and I know a lot of teams do this going down like from to Philadelphia as well from New York. By the time you get out of Yankee Stadium after a day game at
Mm-hmm.
5 o'clock, get into the New York City traffic on a bus, get to the airport, get through all of the stuff at the airport, get up in the plane, land in D.C., get off get on the buses and everything. You're better off just taking a train
Yeah.
or a bus.
Save 2 hours, if
Yeah,
not long, if not more.
yeah. I mean, one way the trip takes you 4 hours, the other way an hour and a half, two
And
hours stop.
do the Mariners get paid like they do in the college sports?
Yes, they do quite well too. I mean, Mikey, don't you think that this is going to screw up? I mean, I don't know. I just, I mean, what will this do to sports? What will it? I mean, what's the future look like for college sports? You better have cash, right?
It depends if you're a winning team or not. If you're a going concern or you're just a go along.
I
Where does it leave teams that were not even active members of their own conference, let alone leaders now in the financial game that they have to play to play at all?
well, I think what's going to happen is it's going to affect the average person, average sports fan. When you graduate your school, you'll have you'll pay to see every game you want to see.
Mm-hmm.
There'll be no more of that sitting around the television on Saturday afternoon with Grandpa spinning tails in Notre Dame.
Pay per view.
That's all going to be pay per view. You're going to pay. I mean, you got to pay to see the Mariners now up here. No more free ride, which I think is horrible.
They couldn't make a profit off over the air broadcasts.
Yeah, I'm sure you could make a profit over the air off of the over the air broadcast, but you don't make as much. See, it's not about profit anymore, Michael. It's about how freaking much can we go through somebody's pockets for? What can we get? There was a time when you walked up to that ticket booth at Candlestick Park and you said, "How much is a ticket?" and they said $3.50 if you want to sit down front. You handed them $3.50, maybe $7 for 2 tickets. Maybe you tipped the guy $1 because he gave you a couple of nice seats. He says, "Hey, I got these that nobody picked up. Here, take these." And you said, "Oh, that's nice." You tip. That's how it used to happen out at Shea. You walk up to the ticket booth, and your $3.50 ticket for 2 of them cost you $8, right?
So Mariner Park, what's the deal? What are the financials?
Well, now you have to not only pay for your ticket, but you have to pay a service fee. No more hard ticket. They give you the ticket on your phone. So what do you do if you're a person that doesn't have a telephone? Can you not go to a ball game now?
No. You can go, you just can't get in.
And you have this, it's just a ridiculous system. It's not just the Mariners, it's everywhere. And so let's say you go to see the Cleveland Indians, right? So the Cleveland Indians, you could probably get yourself some tickets.
They're the traffic commanders.
Yes, the commanders, excuse me. You can go and probably go on a midweek special for $10 or $15 a ticket. Service charges probably on top of that, right? If all of a sudden at the end of the year, the Cleveland team and the Mariner team are battling it out for the wild card spot. Now those tickets are $50 a piece. Now they have dynamically adjusted the price and saying,
just like you adjusted your expectations, they adjusted the price.
Right. Now those tickets, $50 a piece if you want to go. If enough people want them, $60 a piece. They adjust the price according to the demand, according to the team. It's called dynamic pricing. They do it, and listen, they've been doing it on the airlines for years. The only thing that's happened now is that the entertainment world has caught up to it. And I think it's horrible. I'm sorry that we've lost. I mean, we've lost so much in this country in my lifetime. And I'm sorry the kids won't know that joy of getting on the 7 train, after school and scooting out to Shea Stadium to catch the last 4 innings of a game because you love baseball so much. Now, maybe some do. I don't know. Maybe some still do. But you could always, if you run out there, you could always find, at least there was a $1.30 ticket. At best.
In the 6th inning, cost $1.30.
There was a general admission ticket, $1.30. You could go, and usually there was, by that late they'd leave 1 or 2 gates open, so that people get in and out, and somebody would hand you a ticket, say, "Here, go sit in my seat," or "Here, go," because it was just, And so maybe you didn't get to see the whole game, and maybe you didn't eat popcorn and soda, but you know what? After school, that was where you went. That was where you learned. That was where you looked and you saw the Warren Spahns and the Steve Carltons and the Bob Gibsons and the Hank Aarons.
Don't forget Juan Marichal.
and the Juan Marishal's and the John Roseboroughs and the Don Drysdales and the Sandy Koufax. I think I saw him once because he was gone after 65 or 66. But you saw, when you knew there was a day game, you rushed out there right after school. Boom, up to the train, bang, out to Shea Stadium. That's how you fell in love with the game. That's what made you fall in love with the game, because it was something, and you did it with 3 or 4 or 5 of your friends. And you all snuck on the subway together. And now, no more.
One thing the transit police always used to say about you, Vinny, is you guys were fast.
Never said that about me.
Those damn kids are fast.
So I think it's a shame, Michael. It breaks my heart that sports is just becoming more and more just about money. And I am somebody who believes that the players should get paid. But it shouldn't be, there shouldn't be a college player making $1 million a year. We're going to see that. Sure as God made little apples.
God made little apples? Why didn't he just make medium-sized or large apples? They go further.
Well, now, wait a minute. O.C. Smith had something to say about that, didn't he? God didn't make little green apples, and it don't rain in Indianapolis in the summertime.
Well,
There's
I
no
don't care what
such
happens
thing
in
as
Indianapolis. I
Dr.
just don't
Seuss.
care what happens in that town. I'm more concerned about the size of these apples. If God is all-knowing and omniscient, why did he make little green ones? Why didn't he just make medium and large green ones so we could get more out of an apple?
I don't know, Michael. What do I know? What else do we got going on in the world, Michael? Tell me more. Tell me something that's going on in the world that will make
I
me
heard
happy.
several stories out of one ear this morning about Hunter Biden and his cases coming to court in California on weapons charges.
I thought you were going to tell me something that was going to make me happy.
And I don't think they're going to be able to get cameras in the courtroom, so that might make you happy.
I don't know, Michael. I don't know. What do you think about cameras in the courtroom?
Well, in federal cases, you can't even bring a recording device into the courtroom. As a reporter, I had to leave all my stuff out in the care of the front of the federal guards. I could sit and observe. I could take notes, but I could not interview anybody on the premises, on the inside of the security perimeter. Outside the security perimeter, the steps of the courthouse, yes, you could get comments. But first you had to retrieve your equipment. So I've never been in a courtroom where the broadcast was live, either audio, video, or audio and video. That's the way it is in California.
Yeah.
And in federal courts, nothing whatsoever.
By the way, if you're looking to make an investment in a building, you're thinking about buying a building somewhere?
Is this the one teetering in San Francisco?
No, better one. The Soho Loft building at 496 Broome Street, where John and Yoko lived.
They lived in West 70th in Central Park West.
Well, the Dakota, right, but this is before they moved up there, I guess. 496 Broome Street. It was they bought it in the fall of 1971. just a really small, unassuming looking building.
They bought the whole building.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah, I guess they had the you know. I mean, obviously they had the money. You can buy the building for $5.5 million, and let's see,
And live in the John and Yoko suite.
and tell you what, man, it wouldn't be a bad idea for a bed and breakfast for a Airbnb, right? I mean, how can you imagine how many Beatle fans would pay a
To spend the
thousand
weekend.
dollars a night to stay in John Lennon's house?
It's a going concern. More of a profit margin than college football, where you have to pay all those players. And you know how large college lineups are, with the walk-ons and all the state players that are required to be on the team. They all get paid too? Or is it
I,
just the
I,
starting lineup?
I think everybody on the team's going to get paid. I mean, I would have to think that I would have to think that you would get that you would get. I don't know. I would have to think that you would that everybody on the team is going to get paid. Now, I don't know how the swimming people are going to get paid, and I don't know how the baseball players are going to get paid.
How about lacrosse? How about the chess team?
Oh, this sucks. Um, I don't know. That's the thing, right? Who knows how long? Yes, Patsy. You can stay in Patsy Cline's house for $350 a night
It's just sitting there waiting to be taken care of.
in Goodlettsville, Tennessee. It's a
Good, good
national
luck,
landmark.
good luckville.
Goodlettsville. It's furnished in the period furniture, but it's Patsy's house, done up in exactly like Patsy,
Like she, just like she liked it.
just like she liked it. So, so if Patsy's getting $350 a night, what the hell's John Lennon going to get?
1,500.
Yeah, I would have to say that. I mean, it's a nice place. Short set of stairs leads to a full height bedroom loft. Property was also used as a recording studio.
If you were ESPN and you were doing a story about the Cubs pitcher Shota Amanaga and his baffling, unhittable optical illusion pitch, would you show a video of that pitch or would you just talk about it and not show a video of the pitch?
No, I'd want to see a video. I mean, you're going to tell me somebody's not pitching the way normal people pitch. You're going to have to show me a picture of it, aren't you?
I would think so. ESPN declined. They just wrote a story
Why?
about it. Guess they didn't have the video.
Well, who has the video?
Well, the Cubs would have it, I would think. I would think anybody
Well,
around
Mikey,
the.
I mean, if you're in Wrigley Field, there's probably 35,000 people that have video of how he pitches.
Well, there's the basis for my complaint this morning. Why didn't ESPN show me the optical illusion pitch so that I could see it for myself? Why is it so hard to hit?
I don't know. I don't know anything about this pitch. You're,
Shota Amanaga. He's a little guy. He's only 5'10". His top speed is 92 miles an hour, and they can't hit the pitch. And the comment is, well, he's not very good, but his pitch is unhittable. So, which is it?
let's see. Is there? Well, I don't see any. I don't see any film of it here. Shota Imanaga. Well, why wouldn't they show?
It's fascinating.
Well, yeah, there's got to be something's not right. I
It
mean,
ain't
the
right.
games are on TV. You'd have to be able to see how he pitches just by watching the game.
Yep.
They don't blank them out when they're showing the game, do they?
They do not.
So then why do?
Yeah, the same thing. Logan Gilbert of the Mariners has a great cutter this year. He's taking his game to another level. No video.
Well, who's showing you? What do you want? What are you looking for the video?
I'm looking at ESPN.com.
Forget ESPN. Go to MLB.com. Yeah, ESPN.com. What has happened in the sporting world of ours is these leagues now run their own websites. So they don't give everything to ESPN, and ESPN doesn't have rights for a lot of baseball games anymore. And that's not going to get any better because there's a lot of talk and a lot of buzz in the baseball industry about negotiating a national rights contract where all of the stuff will be taken away from the local teams and done like they do it in football, one big national contract. Is it on MLB?
I don't see it. I don't see any highlights of showing my player, Shota. Cubs are playing the Cardinals. Maybe something will come out of that. Okay, here we go. Show me that pitch. Nope. He's playing. He's pitching tonight. He's got a .84 ERA. He's so unhittable.
Well, I will watch. I will turn the game on and watch it and see what his secret is, and then I'll report to you.
Thank you.
Now you know the Cubs are going into Busch Stadium tonight, right?
Yeah.
Do you know, Michael Knight, that no player? There's a guy on the Cubs named Michael Busch.
Mm-hmm.
Right? He has a chance to do something that nobody else has ever done before.
Tell me about it.
No player named Busch has ever hit a home run in any of the iterations
Wow.
of Bush Stadium. Nothing.
You just can't do it. It can't be done.
Or any other version of the name. No player named Bush, or anything that sounds like Bush has ever homered at any iteration of Bush Stadium.
What about Tush?
Maybe it has been a tush. So, well, what do you got planned for Memorial Day? Anything?
Well, today we're going over to be with the kids. They get out of school early because of the holiday. So we're going to hang. And then on Sunday, Kailani and Steve are going on a golf date. And we're taking care of the kids for 18
Nice. So it'll
holes.
be a nice, fun family weekend, right?
Yep. That's the plan. That's the idea. That's the whole idea right there. Sewn up and delivered quickly.
There you go. Um,
What are you
that'll
doing
be that'll
tomorrow
be
for
all.
your show?
Well, I always try to do something on Memorial Day that commemorates, or the Memorial Day weekend that commemorates some aspect of the people that gave their lives for our country. Whether they did it voluntarily, involuntarily, it doesn't matter. They fought to preserve freedom, and something that I don't know that I would ever had the nerve to do. To be honest with you, so I try to pay tribute each Memorial Day on the show to some type of connection between cars and soldiers. And I think I've come up with a pretty good one this time. There is a company that makes um, army trucks, and they have built a fleet, which is the future of autonomous army transport vehicles. So that if you have to send a caravan like across the desert, you don't send it with troops in it. You just send them stuff autonomously. And so this company, in order to honor the drivers that have been killed in these different wars, most of them in the Middle East, have named each one of these trucks after a driver that was killed in
In
battle.
action. Yeah.
So each of the trucks have a plaque on the door that says the name of a driver that was killed. And I saw the story and I just thought it was touching. I thought it was a really nice way to honor, because guys get personal about their trucks. There's a lot of songs guys that have been written about trucks. I mean, women do too, I guess. But
Remember,
guys, there's a
remember the
certain.
remember the country song 18 Wheels and a Dozen Roses?
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. There's just a personal Don Don something.
Don Williams?
Was it Don Williams?
Could have been. I don't know.
Yeah. Anyway, yeah, they. So we'll tell a little bit of that story tomorrow. We'll look at the Kia Telluride. Um, have our top five. We'll see if we can catch a little bit of the practice round of who is driving the Indianapolis 500 pace car this year.
Kathy Mattea had that hit, 18 Wheels and a Dozen
Oh, is
Roses.
that who it was? Okay. Well, she ain't done.
No, she's still with us. She and the Don Williams. Yep, that was the hit. 18 Wheels and a Dozen Roses. Carly Pierce also had a hit, had a version of it, but Kathy Mattea had the hit.
I like Kathy Mattea. She did a song, "Where Have You Been?" That is just one of the most tear jerking songs.
Oh, a sad country song. There's a first.
Yeah, really. This one's a real tear jerker. Um, every time I hear it, I worry about. Well, I won't get into what I worry about. I worry about many things these days, Michael Knight. Many, many things. Anyway,
You
so
worried
that's what
about?
we'll be
Are you
doing.
worried? Are you worried about Hunter Biden or the Trump supporters that think Vladimir Putin and Russia are the model for a modern country?
No, Mikey, you know something? I'm less and less worried about him. I'm getting less and less worried. Uh, if people want to be idiots, if people think that homophobia and attacking people because they're different, whether it be sexuality, whether it be nationality, whether it be any other kind of ality you can think of, if people think that that's a good thing, then I don't know where the hope is.
I know
You
what you
know,
mean. I know
I don't
what you
know what the
mean.
hope is. I'm worried because I'm worried about a million other things, man. I'm worried about aches and pains. I'm worried about how am I going to have enough that I won't be living out in the streets starving. I'm worried about dying alone in some hotel room. I'm worried about thousands of dollars of oral surgery I'm going to have to have. That's what I'm worried about.
Well, I'm
You
sorry I
know,
brought that
so
up.
if these fucking idiots want to go and vote for Trump and have that kind of world, screw them. I'm just going to try to get my Medicaid and my work done as fast as I can so that I can die with a full being able to smile at people.
Soon come.
But it's just wearing on me. And I don't want to give up. You know, Mikey, I've been through a lot in my life, and I want some stretch of my life where
Smooth sailing.
it's smooth sailing because, well, just that it's smooth sailing. That's all. I just want a little of that before I go. You know.
Yeah.
All right, listen, pal. I will catch up with you Monday if the Lord's willing. The creek don't rise. Don't forget Drive Time Radio tomorrow afternoon, tomorrow morning at
11 o'clock.
11. We'll hopefully we'll be able to tap into Ken Griffey Jr.'s practice round at Indianapolis practice lap
Do
as
not
he's
stack
driving
up that
pace car.
Corvette. Don't stack it up.
Yeah, don't stack it up. It's a very nice Corvette you'll be driving there, Junior. And then I'll see you Monday if the Lord's willing. The creek don't rise. Mikey, have a good weekend with the family.
I
And
will, man. You have a good weekend too.
peace, love, and Manischewitz, man.
What a wine. Everyone agrees.
See you, Mikey. Thanks everybody for listening.